This is Piers Morgan, a famous British journalist best known for his bold and direct interview style. He has a talent for putting his guests on the spot with tough questions and persistent follow-ups. But this time, he had a quite different guest to challenge. Allow me to introduce the controversial Andrew Tate. Andrew Tate is a former kickboxing world champion turned entrepreneur and social media personality. Known for his controversial views and bold statements, Andrew Tate has built a reputation for his no-nonsense attitude and competitive spirit. While this interview sparked a lot of controversial thoughts and heated discussions, we're only going to focus on the interesting part where Piers Morgan challenged Andrew Tate to a heated game of chess. While Piers Morgan has previously stated that he was his school champion in chess for 2 years, Andrew Tate has a different background in the game. Andrew's father, Andrew Tate Jr., was an American international master in chess, renowned for his creative and aggressive playing style. He was a 5-time Armed Forces Chess Championship winner and a trailblazer for African-American chess players. Although Andrew didn't grow up to be a professional chess player like his father, he certainly inherited some chess skills in his genes. The challenge Piers proposed was to play the game in just 5 minutes, and to make the match even more comical, Piers decided they would play on a small, tiny chessboard. Andrew played with the white pieces and started the game by moving his pawn to d4. After Piers responded with his pawn to d5, Andrew chose the famous Queen's Gambit opening by moving his pawn to c4. Piers then opted for the Queen's Gambit declined variation by moving his pawn to e6, to which Andrew replied by moving his knight to c3. So far, both players seemed to know what they were doing as they followed well-known theory. However, Piers's next move, knight to c6, was not on the same level. The move knight to c6 wasn't a disastrous move, but it is rarely played because the knight blocks the c-pawn from being pushed forward later in the game, which is something that black will likely need to do. On the other side, Andrew kept following the correct strategy by developing his bishop to f4, followed by pushing his pawn to e3, clearing the development path for his other bishop. After Piers exchanged his bishop with the white knight on c3, he made his first mistake by moving his queen to h4. This move left the c7 pawn unprotected, and developing the queen early is usually dubious, especially before developing other pieces and getting the king to safety, because the queen would be vulnerable to attacks from the opponent's pieces. Andrew then captured the pawn on c7 and followed that by attacking the queen twice, first with his bishop on g3 and then with his knight on f3. After making these moves, Andrew started telling some stories about a yacht in Dubai and other topics. Piers, seemingly distracted by Andrew's stories, lost his concentration and made a disastrous move by castling his king. Andrew, whose cunning plan seemed to have worked, immediately captured Piers's queen on g5. Upon realizing his mistake, Piers shouted, "Oh God!"
I'll take your queen.
This fatal mistake by Piers turned the position into a completely winning one for white. The game continued with Andrew playing accurately, developing the rest of his pieces and castling his king. As Piers moved his pawn to g6, they were both discussing what they liked most about chess. Andrew, after making an interesting move with knight takes g6, also interestingly stated that what he likes most about chess is that there is no luck in chess. If you lose, you somehow made a mistake, even a small one, and this teaches absolute self-accountability. The idea behind the move, knight takes g6, is that when Piers decided to take the knight, Andrew captured back with the queen, causing significant damage in the black camp by using the cooperation between the white queen and bishop.
Come on, brother. What's up, fam? You know this.
Keith Williams.
At this point in the game, the situation was hopeless for Piers, but he decided to put more pressure on Andrew by pointing out that only 50 seconds remained. He asked, "So, can you beat me in time?" Unfortunately for Piers, Andrew was unfazed by the time pressure. He made a couple of moves and then announced,
Mate in 2, Piers.
and he kept his promise. After Piers captured the rook, Andrew checked him with his queen on e7, followed by a decisive checkmate on c7. What an accurate and professional chess level by Andrew.